and your fucking jailbait candy that you're eating, looking super smug. Fucking. In case you don't know, for those who don't missed, let me just tell the people, for those who just missed it, it was my fault because I wasn't recording. Oscar started off our podcast the same way he normally does, being dark as fuck, being weird as fuck, talking about kids. So what happened was he was eating these candies. I asked what he was eating, and what did you say?
I said kids and grown-ups love it, so the happy world of Haribo.
Yeah, and I said, or grown-ups who love kids. And then he did what he does.
This is how I usually catch them.
Okay, boom. Welcome back. My name is Dave Blakamoto, your uncrowned 145-pound champion, and I'm here with Mr. Epstein Jr. himself, Oscar.
Oh, may Oscar rest in peace.
MacLife Willis. Is that your fight name?
No.
Yeah. What's your fight name? You have a fight coming up.
You're gonna love this. It's called. I'm gonna. When you say it out loud, it sounds fucking cringe as fuck. But I'm gonna get the geezer to be like the one, the only Oscar Willis, and then my nickname will be the one, the only.
The one, the only. I like that.
Let's
fill people in because you've not really talked about it much yourself. So you are training
intentionally
to compete. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I've got an amateur fight. It was meant to be on October 8th, and now it's pushed back to November.
So what's the process? 19th. So is it for people that have zero background?
Yeah, basically.
And you have how long is the camp?
Well, it was meant to be 20 weeks, but it's going to end up being 30 weeks. Starts at 7 in the morning till 8:30 from Monday to Friday every day. You do it with like 20 people signed up. I think there's like 5 people left. I'm fighting one of them. So you're like literally training with the guy that you're going to end up fighting.
Oh, so 20 people started and there's 5 left.
Yeah, like the people drop like flies.
Yeah, this is some Navy SEAL shit.
Yeah, and then so I fight the Saturday after Izzy fights in MSG.
Oh,
so yeah, I know. So that's going to be a real shit week for me, not being able to get on it.
Where's your fight?
Vegas.
Huh.
Get the jet, boys.
Get that jet. Whoa. Hey, that's below my pay grade or above my pay grade.
But yeah, no, the guy I'm going to fight, he's 20. He only works on the weekends.
How old are you?
So he goes. I'm 31. Veteran.
And you're fighting a 20-year-old that only works on the weekends and trains Monday to Friday.
So all he does is he goes to the gym at 8 o'clock in the morning and leaves about 8 o'clock at night.
Who the fuck is booking this? This is like the equivalent of fucking Diaz and Hamza, but in your world.
But at the beginning,
are you Diaz though?
I feel mate.
It would be.
What
made you decide to even do this though?
I've always wanted to. I was going to do it before I turned 30, and then the old Panny D happened, so that sort of put a stop to that. And then I just thought, fuck it, I'll just get on with it, get one done. And I completely regret it now. Like,
so you're 9 weeks out. Do you think about fight night? Do you do much visualization?
Mate, I tell you what, it's really started now. Like every night I go to sleep thinking that this fucking 20-year-old kid's going to beat me up.
You can't even sleep there. This is you. Fucking stone cold away.
I was like, I wonder who I know who looks threatening enough to fucking threaten.
Who's in your corner? Oh, your coaches. Man, I want to be there though. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and be there.
I just left the Contender Series. He's
I was
17-year-old.
I was just watching that kid's fight. He looks very good.
Relentless.
Well-rounded.
Decent. I mean, well-rounded. And it's always funny with these guys, a bit like Hamzat, where as soon as like, oh, you hear about the 17-year-old, and then you start hearing like, oh, apparently he fucked this guy up at the gym. Apparently this happened. So you start hearing
all the fucking myths and legend stories start coming out.
Exactly right. So, but he seemed like
he looked good.
Yeah, he seems very strong for 17. I'll tell you.
Yeah, but I was watching as I was watching, I was
like thinking, weekends.
How young is too young to start? Because the younger you start, the more damage you start to take.
Yeah, well, it's funny, right? Because Canelo started boxing when he was like 15, and now he's 32. And I feel like maybe we're going to start seeing him decline now, just because he's been doing it for so long. Max Holloway, he got in the UFC at 18. He's like 30. I think it's fair to say that he might be starting to slow down. You know what I mean? So there's something in longevity, but I don't know. I suppose his fighting style lends itself to not getting hit, right? He's like a really aggressive wrestler. So it's not like he's taking big shots this early.
Yeah.
But if they match make him like badly, he can get fucking like, wake up. I can't say that word anymore, but he could.
They were definitely not. They were definitely not matchmaking badly, because how often do you get like a 17-year-old come into the promotion? He's
but
definitely
also he's like pretty big for 135, so he'll like move up.
He's not finished growing. I would see him finishing his career off at 170.
Yeah, probably 155.
At 17, you don't stop growing for like another 5-6 years.
Yeah, and I mean,
23.
If the guy's just working out constantly, he's gonna be fucking like jacked,
it also depends on how fast, how early he started working out, because that could stunt things. But yeah, he'll definitely.
They were saying
grow
4, but I don't know. Again, that sounds like a bit of a myth. But
4 years old?
Apparently. What were you doing at 17 years old, apart from wanking?
What? I actually thought about, every time I see a young person doing something amazing, I'm always like, what was I doing at that age? And the answer was always most likely masturbating.
Yeah.
I played at 17.
It took a lot of time. At
17, I was busting hella nuts. I was playing hella RuneScape. I had a pretty strict upbringing. My parents, weren't going around and buying me alcohol so I can go to house parties and whatnot, like my other friends. No, for example, in my house, we could not play computer games during the week. In the weeknight, every evening, we had to be at the dining table from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. doing additional study. That's like outside of school. So I had to do that. Couldn't play games. So on weekends, I would just game the entire weekend. My games growing up, RuneScape, World of Warcraft, Call of Duty. I'm back playing World of Warcraft now. But yeah, I was a nerd. I was fucking sheltered. I think I went to like 5 house parties my entire high school, like once a year.
When I turned 17, my parents basically said, "We don't care if you live or die. Go do what you want. Just text us if you're coming for dinner." So I used to like just disappear for days on end and come home and be like, "Is there any fucking food in the fridge?"
It was so weird because I went to uni, which was 5 hours away from my hometown in Auckland, New Zealand, was where I went to uni. And I'd be going out and like we'd just be doing shit, and like the level of freedom. It'd be like midnight, and I'd be like, "Oh, whoa, I don't have to text anyone and tell them where I'm going or when I'm gonna be home."
Yeah, but then when you go home after uni, and then it's like they don't realize that you've grown up, so they're like still coming in your room and being like, "What are you doing today?" It's like, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm getting up yet. Yeah.
So young fighter fucking would be very exciting to see what he could do. Oh my god! But talking about the fights that happened last weekend was one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Nausea-inducing cards that I personally have ever experienced.
Few squirters on there. Mate, I
love. I wouldn't say it.
The cut in the podium with your man's cut across the nose. That was fucking disgusting.
What, Cyclops?
Yeah, mate, you could have fucked it.
Did you watch the little reaction video that we did? It was like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I did.
And I was like talking about, that infomercial of like slapping the tape on something.
But mate, like
they puncture it and it's all leaking and shit. And it's like,
but it's like the doctor's like, "Can you see?" And he's like, "Through this one hole." And he's like, "You're good. Like, get out."
He's like, "Man, what an extra eye now. I can see through all 3 eyes." There's 2 things I don't like.
I can see space and time.
There are 2 things I don't like watching during fight cards. Big, nasty, open cuts where you can see like, the fat. And apparently, and the one that Dana posted, you can see the artery, the vein just there too. I don't like that, and I don't like joint locks. Armbars, Kimuras, when it's like, if I think something is super locked in and it's about to snap, I'm like fucking.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I'm peeking. Yeah. So that it was so yuck. It was so gross. I can't believe he came back and won too. Robocop.
I know. Did you watch the and then the main event as well? Obviously,
Sandhagen.
Again, it was like as soon as he had that cut, you were like, It's pretty fucked. But I tell you what, this is my thought for the day. I'm increasingly annoyed they didn't do Aldo versus Corey or Aldo versus Song Yadong rather than do Aldo versus Marab, because now Aldo lost and he's retired. Instead of, he could have beat Yadong or he could have beat Sandhagen and he could be fighting for the title in Brazil in January. They shouldn't have booked the Marab fight. It was a bad stylistic matchup. They should have done Aldo a favor.
Yeah. I feel like it could have been down to maybe miscommunication with Aldo's retirement plans, or maybe they're not even talking about what Aldo's plans are to finish his career. But I guess Aldo going into that fight would have been thinking that he was gonna win, and not that, I'm gonna get out grappled and wrestled and call it quits here. But yeah, I feel like
that
Aldo
fight did nothing for anybody. Marab didn't want to fight Aljamain, and it's just like
that matchmaking should have been done a little bit more delicately and with better planning, because Aldo deserved to be. I mean, there's a card in January. He deserved to fight another striker
in
on
Rio
that card. Yeah, in Rio. Yeah, the king of Rio. I mean,
would have been sick.
The Marab fight. Should have given him Song Yadong or something in Rio and let him close it out there. But
there's a competitive fights, but he could have beaten Song or Corey. There's a good fight.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe that conversation wasn't brought up because of Aldo's age, him still being 32.
They didn't consult us.
How's the royal family doing?
Well, there's one less of them, but the funeral was yesterday. It was, it was. Do you know what? I'm actually not even going to bullshit. I did get a little bit emotional watching it because I felt very far away from home. I was like, oh, look at them all over there. I know. And then I just, carried on living my life and that. But yeah, that's how the royal family are doing. There's been some like David Beckham. He waited in line for like 12 hours to see the Queen, and then these morning TV presenters, they skip the line, so everyone hates them now, and I'm a big fan of that. I enjoy it when people get attacked publicly.
There's nothing too exciting that raises the blood pressure or the heart rate up until you get to the fight night before Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, well, I think what usually happens, like we had a bit of a lull period, like back in May. I think there was like a few weeks where there wasn't much happening, but I guarantee you, like something.
This last quarter, this final quarter is going to be nuts.
Yeah, mate. I mean, even that Anderson Jake Paul fight is going to be pretty big.
One that Fury, you didn't get the credentials to.
No, I got credentials.
Oh no, that's right, Triple G.
I didn't get credentials to the Triple G.
That's right.
I nearly sent a snotty email again, but I rose above it.
Oh my god, you actually you're such a Karen.
That was what. No, I just like get confused and demand answers. So yes, a bit like a Karen actually.
Yeah. So MMA news, there's not really much happening.
No, what's happening in your personal life, David? You tell me about that. That'll be interesting.
My personal life.
Yeah, oh, actually, tell the kids what first of that, and then we have questions, right? That's like.
Do you want to do that the questions first? Well, yeah, let's just do the questions. My life is pretty
how many questions are about my goofy teeth? Because plenty of the comments are.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're always asking me why I get rid of that one.
I think some of these are for both of us. Or most of them are for both of us. Okay. All ready?
Yeah.
If you had to live on a deserted island with a mermaid, would you want the top or bottom half to be a fish?
I would prefer the top half to be a woman, so the bottom half to be a fish.
But which would have the wetter, you know what?
Well, I mean, regardless
if it's a fish.
Yeah, well, regardless of how wet it is, I don't want to shove my fucking cock in a cod, to be honest. I'd rather.
Yeah, but you have the wrong attitude, though. You know what I mean? Let's just take a step back.
You're right. I should try bestiality more often. You're absolutely right.
Let's take a step back. You're rushing into decisions here. Let's just take a breath and look at it from an objective point of view. Okay, so
you're gonna be fucking a woman with a big like fish head next to you. Okay? Also, I'll point out a fish head that's out of the water, meaning it's dying because it hasn't
because it's a half mermaid, so it can survive. It's gotta be a rotten.
It doesn't breathe out of its asshole, does it? It breathes through its gills.
Mutations, you never know. There's no fine print in this comment, so our creativity.
I don't remember mutations being mentioned.
Okay, no, being serious. I guess having a woman's face would be more pleasing to look at. But can the fish head talk? Like, can you hold a conversation after you fuck?
I mean, first of all, I love the fact that this was a question about like spending time, and we both immediately went, well, which one would you rather fuck? As opposed to like,
oh
yeah. But I would imagine I think talking to a massive fish would be like kind of trippy, to be honest. I'd rather talk to a woman who was the traditional mermaid layout. Imagine if it was like some fucking hammerhead shark or something. It's just black. David, did you pick the pineapple?
No, but that could be like good handlebars. You know, if you had like a hammerhead, you could get a good grip. You get a good grip from that thing, and then you just start pounding away. You just pound away, mate.
Yeah.
So we've not made it. Okay, if I was being serious, I would say it'll be a woman on the top half, fish on the bottom half, the traditional mermaid.
Yeah, and just oral it.
If she could switch, like had like a special superpower where one day she's half woman on top, and then another day she's half fish, mix it up, make things exciting. Hey, could just be the perfect partner.
I mean, either way, we'll end up hating them. So,
all right, you next. You pick one.
You are forced to eat a burger no matter what. There's a 50-50 chance someone's spit in the burger. Do you check in the burger for spit, or do you just eat it?
If you're forced to eat it, you just eat it. Because
if
your chicken is a big fucking burger, you don't want to know. Yeah, that was easy. Is he going to implement wrestling against Alex? Well, just buy the pay-per-view and find out.
You would know better than me. I would say, I feel like your brother can sometimes like to prove a point. And I feel like in this fight, he'll either want to prove a point that like I beat this guy striking twice and he got lucky to knock me out, so I'm going to beat him striking again. Or I could see him trying to prove a point and be like, welcome to mixed martial arts, motherfucker. Here's some grappling. But I don't know which point he wants to prove. So that's, or I could be way wrong.
That goes for you too. Buy the pay-per-view. Buy the pay-per-view.
Why? I'll be there. But I will, just to support.
Yeah, just to support the Adesanya family. Okay. How hard do you guys party after attending a UFC event? Any crazy stories, both of you?
Well, I remember I bumped into David after a UFC event, and he was fucking hammered. He was so hammered. He saw Brett there, and like we're outside the arena, and he saw Brett. And he was like, "What are you doing here?" And Brett was like, "Here at the fights." And you're like, "Oh yeah."
That's actually on video.
Yeah, and I saw you from across the bar, and you just went, I think this was like the second time we'd ever met in person. Yeah. And you were like, and I ran across the bar and leapt onto you, and we made quite a scene in front of all the people from ESPN
on the parking MGM casino floor. Like, yeah, that was.
So I remember that was a big night for you, because I remember what you were going off.
Bro, that was a huge night, bro. I ran into Colby. I think it was at the Win, and I'm fucking screaming, "Oh, my niggas love Colby," at the top of my voice on the fucking casino floor. Oh, my niggas love Colby. Oh, my niggas love Colby.
I'll be honest. Hammered. You called me that word a few times as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Vegas and America in general, the alcohol, they gave us shot glasses that were like mugs.
Yeah,
couldn't get some tequila shots. So we're like this tall and this round. I'm like holding it in my fucking hand like this. It's a shot glass. And then we have big nights. One thing that we do now as well is the freestyle being the staff party, where we just Luca and our editor, just get fucked up at a strip club with piles of cash and just make it rain.
Yeah, I think one off the top of my head that I remember was quite crazy. I can't remember who fought, but me and Dan had scheduled a pub talk the day after. So maybe it was it might have been that fucking night, to be honest. I think it was. And we were meant to meet at 12 in the afternoon the next day, and I didn't go to sleep until then. Like until like, so I saw him and I was just still awake from the night before.
What did he say when he saw you?
I think he was as well, to be honest. Yeah. But it was just like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because one thing I used to do was I used to purposely just party hard just so I could have a cool Snapchat story that would go on forever and ever and ever and ever.
In New York, after an MSG card one night, me, Casper from Submission Radio, and Dosbrak the artist, we went out in Manhattan, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, so most places were closed, and we found this weird little elevator on the side of the road, and we got in it and just pushed the top button, and it took us up to a fucking nightclub that was empty. So we just went into an empty nightclub, like the business had closed, and so we're in the nightclub just pouring ourselves drinks and fucking like a nightclub to ourselves. Wow. And then we were like, okay, fuck it, let's get out of here, because I suddenly realized I was like probably breaking and entering. We had a few drinks, then went downstairs, and the elevator we got out of, there was a security guy there sitting there. He'd obviously gone to the toilet, so we just got in. And when we got out, he's like, who the fuck are you? And I was like, don't worry, mate, I own the place. And he was like, no, you don't. I know the owner. I was like, oh my God, we won't say we got in there if you don't say you let us in there. And he was like, okay, so we just fucked off. But I remember that was a good one.
That's funny.
This is a good question. What are some of the best fighter sparring sessions either of you seen or had the opportunity to see?
Okay, you answer.
I was there for all of McGregor Mayweather, the lead up to that camp, so I saw some good spars in that. I got to see Daniel Cormier spar once, which was pretty fucking cool, because he was sparring against a bunch of younger guys from his gym, and what was crazy is like he would spar with them, and then if he would like take them down, if he felt they were giving up, he would like coach them while beating them up. So he'd be like, stop fucking giving up, you bitch, and then smacking them in the face and stuff like that. That's pretty wild. What other spars I've seen? I've seen like a few of Conor's spars.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that DC one always stood out to me. I remember being like, that's what's up. That's a cool spar.
Yeah, the only sparring sessions I've had the privilege to watch were the CKB ones. Yeah, I guess they have a good stable of UFC fighters, so I always like going there to watch. Moments when they start to get playful and start to
talk shit,
trash talk a little bit is when shit gets fun, because you know it never escalates into anything serious. It's always just playful, but like, you know, watching them chat shit and land punches and so on. Yeah, it makes for. I got to watch. I
didn't get to watch him spar, but I got to watch Hamzat grapple in Sweden. Like
after flying 15 hours for a 5-minute interview.
Yes.
Fucking hell, that's so painful.
Technically, I had to fly back, so it was 30 hours. But
oh my God,
I got to watch him grapple with some guys, and he was just aggressive is the word.
Aggressive dinner. Does Oscar officially have the N pass?
I love that. I love that, because right underneath that it says all my ninjas love Colby. Like exactly, it's like you told me it, and then that story. That's funny. I don't want the N pass. I don't want to say that word.
Oscar has the N pass on this show alone. Outside of the show, hey.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, mate. I'm gonna say this now. It's highly unlikely I'm ever going to say that word when there's a video camera fucking rolling on my face.
Wait, so you say it off camera?
I actually don't say it off camera. I've never really been a big one for that. I like how I said that in like I'm proud of myself for it, as if it's not like anything.
That's a badge of honor, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna get a t-shirt mate saying I don't say the N-word. And I'll just walk around like, hey guys, I'm a good guy.
Okay, how did we first meet?
At a media day before Israel fought Vittori for the second time. Third time.
I don't know, like meeting you for the first time, it was like sort of like we already knew each other a little bit.
Yeah. It was also
why is that though? Because we weren't even talking on Instagram or anything before at that time, were we?
No, we weren't. You just recognize big dick energy when you see it in another man. I suppose you just go, "There's a guy half my own heart." No, I remember you were talking to Brett. I think you guys did a face-off
Yeah,
picture.
that was the first time I
I
know.
found that funny, and I remember just coming over and saying hello. Yeah, that was it. Remember that?
Yeah, it was love at first sight when we.
Yeah, and that night, woo,
Oh, okay. What is our favorite animal?
tiger, love him. Tiger or a
Tiger.
panda. Yeah.
I like gorillas, sharks, snakes.
Well, we know you like sharks after your answer earlier.
What was my answer earlier?
You want to fucking grab a hammerhead and ride it like a bicycle.
Hey, it's a good handhold, okay?
Yeah.
Fucking when I go in, I go in.
Once you go thin, you go all the way in. That was terrible. I'm sorry.
I like it. I like it.
I'll do
Crouch
it again.
time. Put your fucking hands down. Put your fucking kitty fiddler Epstein
What?
Jr. hands down. And that's a wrap for today, guys. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dave Blakamoto, your uncrowned 145-pound champion, and he is
Oscar.
You have absolutely zero swag. We need to fix that. We need to fix that. This next freestyle in the start party, we're gonna turn you into a man. Okay?
I'm going hunting.
Oh my fucking god. That's not even funny. That's not